Josh's garage here. Look what we're up to this week. Overlanding. What is that? That is turning this Jeep into an ordinary off-road vehicle into an extraordinary life-supporting off-the-grid camper. And I've got some of the parts I need, but a lot of them will be arriving this week. But here's the list. We've got to build cabinets, put a dual battery tray, get an inverter, solar system installed, fridge, shovel, rooftop tent, awning, rack, jack, compressor, lighting, tools, winch, shower, and water. I already have the water, but I want to compress the water with the air in the system, so I'm going to have to figure that out. I've got a number of the parts here. Here's the fridge, and I've got this new Fire Sergeant Coleman stove, which is pretty sweet, that comes with both burners and grill. Just modifying this to be able to fit into drawers. Got the dual batteries, the rack equipment, the awning over here. Rooftop tents are supposed to arrive later this week, but this should be a fun project. The first thing we're going to do is build cabinets in the back of this puppy so that all of our stuff can stay secure. I have some pretty creative ideas on how to do that. I'm just sizing up some of the equipment that I want to take along, because you have to take so many various types and sizes of equipment as you go. So just getting started here. I'll make a video just on the cabinet alone. Also want to keep those beautiful subwoofers intact, because one thing you need while you're living off the grid is like big bass, right? Any doomsday prepper knows that. Okay, here's the shell. Pretty basic. Got the 2x4s below to create spacing. This is the angle of the back seat of the Jeep. It'll fit snugly in there. And here's the cabinet in the Jeep. The refrigerator will be on this side. I needed to leave a little gap for spacing so I could pull it in and out easily. This bottom cut will be for longer items like fishing poles that are a little wider. Then I'll have a little spice rack and a couple of drawers here. That should just clear the hinge and the subwoofer. So, looking good. Okay, this is the mount spot for the inverter. It's a little bit overkill for what I need, but you know, I'd rather have a little more than I need than not enough. So going to run the power from the front here under the side rail over into the seat to the inverter, and then I'll be able to access the inverter under the back seat here and run power to the back or wherever I need. Seems like the best central spot. Now this prep area, this cutting board surface, has been really handy. I've not I didn't realize when I was building it, I thought I was just kind of making better use of space where the drawer would slide out, but I use this for repairing and cutting and you know, setting anything that I want to. It's kind of like the camp table, so it's a nice size. Here we've got the Arb fridge, which has worked really well this weekend. The one thing I'm not sure about is the temperature rating. So it's saying 34, but the food does not feel 34. Nothing, you know, I have it set on 32. Nothing is even close to freezing, just as a test. So moving on, let me show you the spice rack here. So got the little latch, and then spice rack that slides out. Anything you want. And then last is just a deep drawer up top here with all the other extra propane and other supplies that you need that would usually rattle around in the back of a Jeep. All right, so let's retract this. So I'm going to use my knee. So basically these latches, These are pretty heavy. I don't know if you can see, nut latches, these drawer slides. They're like $70 each, which is crazy. It's like made by K&W, so super expensive, but the best drawer slides I could find that would hold this weight. And so you push in these latches and then click, and then do it again. Oh. And then click. There we go. Now we're ready to go riding. All right, so let me show you a few other things here. So this is the James Baroud Explorer Evo tent. This thing is amazing. This is the first weekend ever sleeping in a rooftop tent. I've been really impressed with it. Plenty of room even for a large dude like myself. And it got down to about freezing last night up here in the mountains. We're up at about 8,000 or 9,000 feet. And so I ran the heater all last night because I have this dual battery set up. Let me show you that. All right, so this is the dual battery setup, which allowed me to run the heater last night. The cool thing is that it has this isolator that when the battery sense lower voltage, it shuts off your house battery and leaves the crank battery intact. So I was able to run my house battery all the way down last night, and therefore still I was able to have heat all night. And this morning, still able to start the Jeep. So that's a necessary ingredient for the trail as far as I can see. And you've already seen the water and the air. We've already used that well this weekend on Chris's Jeep with a flat tire, and we had to air up and air down tires. And I've been doing dishes with the water spout over here. So it's been working really well. And then last probably is the, well, I have this extended range gas tank that bolts right into the AEV tire carrier here. And on the top of this AEV tire carrier I've mounted two little work lights, LED work lights, so that while I'm cooking, I've got light. So this is the overlanding setup. Pretty happy with it so far. I think it's time to go for a ride.